Let's just go on the YouTube account. If we are going back. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Planex Aquaculture. This is our YouTube channel, and it is through this YouTube channel that we shall always be passing on relevant information and all the knowledge that has to do with aquaculture. So I would recommend anyone that hasn't yet subscribed to our channel, please do so, because we shall always be sharing resourceful information to you, our dear farmers. From Planex Aquaculture, I am Xavier Peter, and today on our third edition of our online trainings, I will be with my dear colleague Isaac. Let me give him a chance to introduce himself. So, Mr. Isaac, how are you, sir?
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, Xavier Peter. I'm so delighted to be back. Where we have to unravel a lot of things in aquaculture. 6:31st, we have a lot for you this morning.
Okay, thank you, sir. So today, our dear viewers, we shall be discussing a very, very crucial topic in aquaculture. For example, who among you does aquaculture just for fun? No one, obviously, because we are all doing aquaculture to handle it as a business such that we can have profit. And today we shall unveil the 5 secrets towards managing or running a successful aquaculture business. So without any further ado, allow me to invite our dear guest, Mr. Isaac, to dive into some of the greatest secrets that we have towards the profitability of aquaculture as a business. So, sir, you can take on.
Once again, thank you, sir. However, I'm not a guest home, dwelling at home. I would like to welcome us again. My name is Isaac, like Xavier put it, and today we are going to talk something really relevant that people usually do not give a lot of attention to, yet it is the engine to aquaculture, or the engine to success in aquaculture. For example, if you have land, you have the capital, you have everything, every resource that you desire or you require to do aquaculture successfully, and you still fail, it means there are certain things or secrets that someone probably kept away from you, and these are some of the things you want to unravel or unearth today to you, so that in your next endeavors into the business you can profit. And this morning we are going to do secrets that people that are successful do not probably tell you. And we made a commitment that these are things that we shall do for our dear farmers or even the prospect, so that whenever you want to start a fish farm or something like that, you are going to succeed. And secret one is going to be an in-depth market research, where we shall discuss what is involved in market research. What do you need to do before you even start a fish farm? Before even you have a business plan around, what do you need to do? That is going to be secret one. Secret two, you are going to discuss the strategic planning. What is entailed in there? What do you do while planning for fish farm? Then after cost planning and you have the business plan ready or the farm plan ready, then of course you are going to put that into action. You are going to implement it, and that is the secret three for you. Of course, is going to be operating the business itself, operating a farm. Then we shall have secret 4, which will be continuous learning, because when you start, there are always new things that will always crop up, things that will always come on board. So you need to keep yourself in the know. So we are going to discuss that a bit. Then also the technical support, your safety net, why you need people that know things to be amidst you the process or in the entire production. So to start with, Planex. We've been talking about this, but I will not tire reminding you. Planex Aquaculture started way back in 2009, and it is already making agriculture productive. Planex Aquaculture itself is making aquaculture productive, but broadly, we make agriculture productive. Yes, and we stand firm on various values, and one is global excellency, joy, planet, and partnerships and innovation. I would take a lot of time discussing this because in our previous presentations I have already hinted on them deeper. But if the main one, if you come to Planex and you find people with gloomy faces, you should have walked in a wrong place, because we attribute joy to everything that we do. We attribute global excellency. We attribute partnerships, because you are partners. You never hear us call you clients, because you're not. You are dear partners. And then innovation. We drive innovation. We make a lot of research on a daily. That's why we even feed you on. However, this is really important. I cannot start any training or presentations without recording it, and that is our purpose. We empower farmers in Africa to make aquaculture productive and sustainable, so that Africa can feed the world with sustainably or responsibly farmed fish. This is really important. We also have an aquaculture support center that educates, supports, and inspires farmers. So all this is what we stand for. All this is why we serve. All this is why we exist. Just a little about the products and services we offer is we are majorly known, of course, for fish feed, formerly Social. Now we are doing Osialis, Banaqua. Then the other main one that is really propelling this industry, apparently, we have come and we are shaking the industry in a way that no one has ever. We have an aquaculture support center where we already feed you with knowledge and information that is relevant to the industry. And part of what we do is, of course, like I said, is that we inspire, educate, and of course support fish farmers in Uganda and East Africa and Africa at large. We see that Africa feeds the world with responsibly farmed fish. Start with why unravel these secrets? Why discuss them anyway? Like I discussed earlier, there are people that have all the money, there are people that have all the land, there are people that have all that it takes to prosper or to succeed in aquaculture, but have since failed. They have been conned, they have failed at their own will because of these 5 secrets that they do not probably know, or they have kind of neglected. So this morning we come to dive a bit deeper into these secrets. And secret 1, like I discussed, is in-depth research, in-depth market research and analysis. It is important that before you do any aquaculture venture, you have to first understand the market that you're going to serve, or even if it is any other business, understand the market that you're going to serve, understand the dynamics involved, understand who the customers are, and of course stay up to date with the information that is required. Of course, understand your competition too. So these are the 4 key things that we need to know, or that we need to fit ourselves in really well. So after this, please ask yourself, where do I fit in? Number one is understanding the value chain. The value chain is simply from the farm to the plate. All the processes involved along the way is what we call the value chain. So for you to start a fish farm, you need to understand deeper what do I do to grow the fish. That is one. But after that, what happens? How do I get the fish that I'm growing to the plate of someone in, say, Kaberamaido, someone in China, someone in the Caribbean? Yeah, so you have to think about all this before you even start fish farming. Number two is knowing your customer. That is very important for any business. Know what they like, know their preferences, know what propels them to buy, know what pushes them to order whatever they order. So it's important that you understand your customer really, really well. And we shall see all this in detail. Of course, number three is stay updated on the market trends. Understand what is trending now. Where do people get the information? What do people want to consume? Such that you produce exactly that they really want. Then number four is understand your competition. You're not alone in the market, so sir or madam, you need to understand what your competitor does. There is no way you can win over an enemy or win over a battle when you have not studied your opponent or competitor. So you have to get to know what their strength is. You have to know what their weaknesses are. Then you have also to understand what strategies and tactics they probably employ. Yeah, what hedge they have over you. All this is really important. So to dive in straight is understanding your value chain. Like I said, value chain is from the egg to the plate. So firstly, understand where you're going to source your seed. Yeah, it is important. And which kind of seed are you going to source? Because after you identifying that I want to do aquaculture, that is a decision taken. It does not end there. Start by knowing then which fish am I going to do? Is it catfish? Is it tilapia? Is it Nile perch? Is it Resnibola with Argentia? Or whichever. So you choose. So you're like, okay, now that I'm doing aquaculture, where am I sourcing my seed? Where you source your seed is really important because some scrupulous people, they are giving seed they just probably drain from rivers and elsewhere. Or do you want to do mix or single sex? Yeah, all this is important for your production. The hatchery you're going to buy, what is the distance? What is the track record? Yeah, how many people have they served? All this is important for us and for you because all this culminates into what you will harvest or what you will have at the end of the day. And of course, if you have feeding trash, then means you will harvest trash. But if you feed him nice, then you will harvest nice. So that is just a simple logic. Number two is the nursery. Nursery, you can either nurse them at their source or at your own premises. What do you do during that process? All that matters really much. The in-depth of this you can get in the production stage, but then you have to understand where or what do I do to nurse. Then number three, which is the key to aquaculture, because it takes around 70% of the entire production cycle. So it is rather important that you know where am I going to source my feed, what type of feed do I need, because feed is aquaculture. Feed, in fact, aquaculture is not growing fish, it is feeding them. Because if in the production cycle you require 70% of it is feeding, then that means probably much of it is feeding. So you have to source the right feed, and of course, put in mind the right pricing of the feed. Pricing, people usually mistake it to being the low price and high price of the feed. No, it is the return, it is the FCR. What do you get out of the feeding? What do you get, and what time does it take you to harvest certain type of fish? Yeah, all this is key and important. Then how you grow your fish, which system are you going to use? Is it cages? Is it ponds? Are they raceways? All this is important for you. So at the point of understanding the value chain, please take keen caution, take keen note of the type or the type of grow out you are going to do. And then what size do you want to sell out there? All that is predetermined at this stage. Market channels, where are you going to sell your fish? Are you intending to process? Are you intending to sell to the final consumer? Are you intending to sell to traders or anything like that? It is key and important that you give or you plan this prior production. Then, and of course, lastly, the consumer himself. Are they enjoying your fish? What is the best size that they eat? What is the best taste for them? Which is the best fish in your locality that those people will consume? So it is rather important that you understand the value chain really well. To take a keen interest in that market channel, because you can do all the rest right, then we fail at the market channel. Market channel is just from the lake. Where are you going to sell your fish? How are they going to reach the final consumer? So in here we have what needs to happen to the fish. Are you going to smoke it? Are you going to improve on its quality? Or are you important that because it informs you of whatever you're going to do? If you are going to export your fish outside Uganda, there are many treatments or there are different activities that you will do that are different from that one selling probably on farm gate or to a restaurant in your locality. So it is important, and of course, for you to know who is involved in this. Which permits do I require, say, to export fish? Which permits do I require to transport fish from one place to the other? All this it brings me to testing us. If you are there and you're already doing fish farming, or if you are there and you intend to do fish farming, this is yours to try. Help me out there, at least 15 players in the value chain. Remember, we named the part of the value chain is the hatchery, the grow out, the feed, the market channels, the end consumer. Name for me all those that you can name for you to better understand this. Going to the next is knowing your customers. Knowing your customers is usually a hard thing because you're trying to understand people. You are trying to read people even without sitting in class or without having an interaction with them. But it is rather a journey. You need to first compose yourself and understand which customers you really want to serve. Then conduct a market research. You could design questionnaires, you could engage them directly, like have an interaction with them in your area, understand what fish do people eat around here. Why do they choose that kind of fish? For example, if you're in Chiruhura and you start a fish farm, you would rather ditch it for at least a cow because you very well know people in that area probably. Of course, this is a disclaimer. I'm just using Chiruhura for an example, but you might know that probably people there are not good at eating fish and rather take milk and beef milk. So you would want to reconsider having a huge investment there. So all that is important. Understand and analyze this data. After making or conducting that research, Then engage with them, engage with the farmers, interact with them, and understand what exactly that they really want. Yeah. Then use that data collected and analyze it to help you make an informed kind of decision into the venture that you are about to take. Then ensure that the product and services match their requirements. That is, of course, the last one. At the action there where you're shaking the customer hands after them purchasing, then that means you really understood them well. Number 3 is understand the market trends. And how do you do this? Market trends are easily understood if you are informed. And that is why number 1 on my list is you have to read. The industry publications are there on the internet. And of course the newsletters. We always also endeavor to push out blogs, endeavor to push out information on our socials all the time. So please inculcate a culture of reading before you start any venture. Because for you, usually I do not want to, I would want to demystify this where they say you want to hide anything from an African, you put it in a book. Let us demystify this and start reading. Let us look for information, because information is power, information is key, and that information is always on the internet. If you're out there and you're looking for a certain information or certain knowledge that you cannot access, Planex, Aquaculture, always get touch. Yes, monitor online news, of course, and sources, and of course blogs, like I said. Understand what is trending. Yeah, understand you should not be in the shade or in the shadow out there. Understand before you even invest your hard-earned money into aquaculture. Then network, engage in networking, and we have Planex, we have an aquaculture pool of people, of clients or partners that we work with. We have farmers that are more versed in certain knowledge than others, farmers that know more customers than or fish buyers than others. So always take part in such activities and understand what dynamics are there in the market, such that it makes your work easy when you start operationalizing this. Post leverage on the social media, like I said, we post a lot of information on our socials, and of course others also, like we shall see on who to trust out there. So leverage on that. On the digital network right now, we have digital. Number 4, like I said, is understand your competition. Understand who else is doing the same work like you, and how can you stand out? What can you do different from them? Yeah, it's rather important that you always stand out your competition. Do things that they are not doing. Of course, on leveraging on their weaknesses and then building on them as your strength. This will help you greatly. What we need to know about our competition is not really hard. Understand what their strength is. It is important. Why do we need to know what their strength is? Such that you know if it is your weakness, then you can counter them. You cannot counter anyone, like I said, when you do not know their strength. Even this is even in the Bible, where Samson and the enemy didn't know that his power came from his hair and what. So if you do not know, until of course they got to know that the power was from the hair, that is when he was toppled. So if you do not know what strength your competition has or your competitor has, you cannot topple them. They will always be ahead of you in a lot of things. But it is also important and keenly that you understand their weaknesses, because on their weaknesses you build your strength, and then you can counter them on that. What strategies and tactics do they employ? Yeah? For example, there are people that have fish shops. If it works for them, you need to understand how do they do it. Yeah? And would you want to take the same route, or you would rather have it in markets? somewhere else, local markets in Busega, in Wandige, or something like that. Yeah. Do you want to have a door-to-door kind of tactic where you sell your fish door-to-door? All this is important. If other people are doing it, does not mean you should also do it. Because them doing it, they took time to understand. So you could fail and crash at it. That is why it is important that you learn what their tactics are, and that you employ, in fact, a superior one that can counter theirs. Because we are selling close to the same product in the market. Then, of course, the positioning and then the customer perception. How do the customers perceive your competition? When you talk to them, what do they say about your competition? When you talk to them, when you engage them, where do they place your competition? And of course, vis-a-vis, where do they place you, who is trying to take on this kind of venture? So it is all important that you understand these things, their strengths and weaknesses, strategies and tactics, and of course their positioning and customer perception. So that when you are into, or you are going into the venture, you really know what you are going to face, what to expect, and not to make mistakes. After you making all the information gathered in the market research and understanding, of course, your customers and everything, it takes you to the next step, or which is the next secret that people do not tell you, and that is strategic planning. The word strategic is used because you have to be strategic basing on the information that you have unraveled from people that you have gotten out there. You have to be really strategic, because what they do is not what you're going to do, or even if you're doing it, you're going to do it better. So there is no way you can beat your competition, or there is no way you can succeed if you do not have these two, and they include one is the business plan. If you ever start a business without a plan on paper, it is 80% or 90% that you will fail at that business, because you do not know what else is going to happen. For example, if you fail, you do not know how to counter it. And if you succeed still, you do not have a roadmap for where you're going. So it is really hard for you to succeed in such an environment where you have no plan. So develop a comprehensive plan for yourself, for your business, and this is going to help you succeed. That is number one. And number two, there is also what we call a SWOT analysis. Do a regular test on yourself, on your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities available, and of course the threats around. And we shall see later that these strengths and weaknesses are hinged into you or on your business, and then the opportunities and the threats are external. So it is important that we take all this into account before we start a business. Why we need a business plan? It is very simple. It clarifies the business goal. Number one, like I said during market research, you are understanding how you want your market or how you want your business to run. So putting these things down or getting them down in a business plan, it helps you to keep in line. If your goal was to do a hatchery, for example, there is no way you're going to wake up and you start marketing fish, because your goal was clear. All that you're going to do, your objectives, your whatever you're going to do will be aiming at that major goal. So that means you will be a bit strategic in whatever you're doing. You're not going to be a person who hears that network marketing is the thing now when you run. Now catfish is what is running when you run. Because you have a plan that you're following, it will be easier for you to succeed in what you're doing. Because it also guides your decision making. Since you have everything down on paper, you know, and you have made, of course, enough research, you know what to do, you know, you've highlighted the strength, you've highlighted your weaknesses, and everything is there. So it always helps you in decision making, because you're like, instead of digging another pond, let me buy another ton of feed because I cannot stock more when I don't have feed. All that is entailed in your plan. You know where you're going, there is a roadmap, there is a clear vision for you of where you're heading. Also, it attracts investors. It's very hard for you to get investment from anyone or someone's money, or someone lending you money without a clear indication of where you're going to, one, get the money to repay back, or how are they going to gain whatever venture you're carrying out. For example, you cannot come at me and you're like, yes, we start a fish farm when you do not have a clear plan. How much are we going to make? How much do we need? What are we going to do? Which fish are we doing? All that cannot be just said out because it needs to realize. People always take you serious. Such documentation. So you need to have a business plan in place to attract investors and lenders. Of course, number 4 is identifying target market and customers. There is no day you will get off your feet not knowing who to sell to. If you have a clear plan, or if you have a clear set goal, that these are the people that I'm selling to, this is my target. You are not going to jump to go to Indonesia when you have not satisfied the market down here. So it is usually the business plan that guides you on the niche that you are serving. Then, of course, manage the resources effectively. We shall look at the business plan model, where we shall see how it is structured in a way. It helps you manage resources because you make decisions in reference to it. You do not make certain decisions, wake up one morning and you're like, no, I need now to start doing a hatchery in a production cage. No. So it's in a way helps you understand well the business. And then it gets us to the SWOT analysis. Like I said, strengths and weaknesses are internal and they are helpful. One, if you understand your weaknesses, let me start with the weaknesses. You can build on them and get and win. But if you do not know your weaknesses as a person or as a business, there is no way you can prosper in this competitive world. Also, know your threats out there. What things out there can go for you? What things out there can mess with your business? Which competition is harder? Which competition? What are the opportunities? Where do you see yourself selling? No. All this is important. To understand this better, you can even come to Planex to have templates on this, where we have even guidelines on how you can do a self-SWOT analysis in your farm. But what we need to understand is strengths and opportunities are helpful because they are propelling the business. Then the weaknesses and threats are harmful. But guess what? You need to understand them better before you start, such that you do not fall prey to them. After us knowing, making research, understanding the customer, then we have now our SWOT analysis tool ready. Then we have our business plan also laid out properly. What next? We are good to go. We are going to start a fish farm. And that fish farm is going to be hinged on 3 principles. One is understand the production management, because and all this is already written down. It is already a new business plan. It is there. It is for you to just actualize them or for you to implement them. And for you to succeed, you need these three, like I said. Excuse me. You need a production manager. You need to know how to produce the fish that you want to sell. This is the basis for your business. Understand it deeply. Understand it exclusively. Understand which fish, understand the production cycle, understand the feed, understand the water quality, understand the system you are going to use. Yeah, such that you do not get any surprises at one time. Then understand the business model, which most people do not understand. People doing fish farming always neglect the bit of business. Yet in the end, you need to sell all these fish to recoup your money and of course make profit. To understand the business management of your farm deeper. And of course, number 3, which is likewise important, is sustainability. That is the environmental bit. And of course, like I said, it trines with one of our values, which is the planet. We want to leave the planet the way we found it, or even better. Our forefathers were not they were not mad, they were not crazy to leave the world or the earth the way they left it to us. So we have to fight in whichever way. However much we are looking to make money, we have also to put this into context that if you mess the environment where you're making your money, then your money will be gone. So it is important that your environment, your social and economic factors around you are put into consideration. You should not create enemies around you, otherwise they will poison your fish, they will steal. But if you have friends around you, around your farm, then they will be your protectors. So it is important that you think on your farm onto those 3 things. And now, like I said, production management, business management, and of course sustainability. Yes. To go deeper into production, like I said, this is basically raising fish, and it is the basis for your business, because whatever you're going to sell, wherever you're going to get the money coming from the farm. What do you need in raising your farm? You need 3 things. One is setting it up. Know the system that you're going to use entirely. If you're going to do a cage, what is the material that I need? Where do I source it? Yeah, get the best material, because if you get substandard things, it will cost you in the end. Yeah. Also, in terms of structuring them or assembling them, do it right, because any wreckage can cause you a great loss. We've seen farmers and farms where their cages have been wiped out, they have broken, their nets have been torn by, say, the waves or something like that. So get the right material at that stage so that you are not faced by surprises. Of course, after you setting it up, then you need to run it. You need to know, one, the feeding models. You need to know how much feed to give, what time to feed, when not to feed. All this is important. Understand the water quality. Understand the feed. Understand the fish itself. Yeah. So all this is important for you to have a successful kind of business. Of course, monitoring and monitoring of production, you have to be able to know that stock this much, then I'll get this much out. All this is important, and it is important that you associate with people that have this knowledge, or even if it is employ people that have a track record of it, or have at least attained an education or background in that line, because it helps you not to burn your fingers or your money. The other bit that people usually ignore, on many farms you go there and they do not even have where they record their feed for the day. That is really tragic, because if you do not know what you feed on a daily, your fish, or if you do not know what happens when, what happens where in your farm, it is going to cost you a great deal. So financial management is key to success. Know what comes in, know what comes out of your business. If you invest large amounts, because this has happened to very many farmers. Last week, I think I visited one of the farmers who was compelled to start a fish farm by a motivational speaker. Anyway. So she dug really nice ponds. I credited her on that. She had a nice pond, nice water source. She even had a reserve of a pump groundwater that in case this happens, then I'll counter it this way. All this was washed, all her hopes of making money were washed away in just a blink of an eye, where she kept on feeding and the fish were not growing. And this person who told her you can make 200 million from this, but without even accounting of what she will put there. So she was all terrified. He was conned of her money, she was conned of her time, and she was really sorrowful. What do we learn from this? We need to take aquaculture from the way or from the level it used to be known to a level of treating it as a business. Do financial management, have an accountant, new farm, yeah? Do self-audit, understand what did I put, what did I gain. Then human resources is important. Who you employ to run your business, yeah, is key. Then the marketing and sales strategy. Remember when we were doing our marketing surveys at the start, our marketing research, this is where it helps. And all these are highlighted in our business plan. So it is key and important and part of us that we take it seriously. We need to put all this into practice. Yeah, procurement and inventory management. You do not just buy anything just because there is money at the farm. Whichever money leaves your pocket at the farm, you're burning your own profit. So take a great deal of maintaining this thing called aquaculture or this thing called a fish farm as a business. The same way you have a company running somewhere, the same way you have a shop running somewhere, it is the same way you should treat your farm. Do not make unnecessary purchases. Yeah, do not make unnecessary expenditures. The name of you should have a backing to whatever you do. The human resource hired, you should have a reason why you're hiring that person, not because they are relatives. They are my brother's son has no job, let me employ them. You will burn your fingers at the end of the day. Yeah. And lastly, quality management. You do not intend to give for a product that they will not buy the next time. So it is important that you put all your brain at producing a quality product that will lure people to come back to you. We have very many businesses where people associate them to quality. You want nice meals, this is the place. Why not yours? It should be that when a person thinks of, say, buying catfish fillet, the name that comes out in a group of 10 is your name or the name of your farm. All this is important because it's going to make you a great deal of money. Yet you only require just a simple thing, planning. And I wanted to wind with this a little. When you want to succeed as a fish farmer, there are two things I have talked about them, but I needed to clarify them here more, and I think probably pump more air into them so that they make sense to us. Number one is production. Production, production, production. Don't forget what 5 core things are. Understand your fish really well. The fish that you're going to grow, in terms of the type, if it is either catfish or it is tilapia. It's important. Understand that strain. If it is tilapia, which strain? People have been given Zirai as Polychromis nilotica. That is wrong. Understand your fish, understand your fish. What movements it does, how does it breathe, all the biology affecting that fish you should know. Yeah. Then of course number 2, understand the culture system that you're going to use. If it is a pond, the requirements are different. If it's a cage, likewise they are different. And of course if it is a raceway, or if you are going to have a RAS system, all the requirements are quite different. So it is incumbent upon you to understand this. Number 3, remember water quality is where the fish is staying. Remember, it does the reproduction there, it does the defecation there, it does the excretion there, it does the breathing there. So you need to pay a keen interest into the water quality itself. Number 4 is the feed. Then, of course, I do not want to take out of time on the feed because we have discussed it elaborately. Then number 5 is management. You yourself, you are in fact the foundation to everything that is going to help you succeed your farm. And of course, lastly, understand the business aspect. What you need is the profit. So if you do not have the production balancing with profit, probably you are losing it as a farmer. At this point in time, I would want to introduce my brother, or call him back class, Xavier Peter. You can take the floor now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, my colleague Isaac. I believe that has been so helpful to our dear viewers. And now I am gonna take you through the 2 other secrets towards you running a successful aquaculture business. And on number 4, we have continuous learning and improvement. You can all agree with me that the world is changing and the dynamics which may be involved will keep on varying depending on the times in which we are. So it is incumbent on you as a farmer to keep on being updated about the advancements that are going on in the industry. So it is very important for you to keep updated. And the areas on which to focus when you're following up and making sure that you keep having updated information which will be relevant to you. These are the key areas that we are pointing out. You should focus on having updated and working aquaculture practices, because the practice that may be working today may not work tomorrow or any other day in the future. And who knows, concurrently it may as well come back. But it's very important as you do your fish farming that you always keep updated by learning from other farmers who are successful. Of course, you shouldn't learn down. I mean, you shouldn't adopt systems or practices that have failed to work at the person's farm and try them on your farm. They may be disastrous to you. So you always source out for good information from trusted sources and successful farmers who have used those practices and they have worked for them. Then on the part of technology, technology is a field that is being developed now and again. So it's very important that you be in a good position for you to get this kind of information about advancements in technology that come in the industry. For example, it may be more economical for someone to use automatic feeders which is the kind of technology that may boost someone's profitability of the farm. So if you are in a good position for you to take on that kind of technology, then you should. You should always keep updated about the regulations, policies, and the rules that are encompassed as far as running aquaculture is concerned. So new guidelines, new rules, new policies are being implemented, and in case you miss out on such information, it may not be good for you. You may not be, you may be out of the law and you find yourself in trouble as well. The new policy or regulation may be favoring your development as a farm owner. Maybe a certain market which has been out of bounds has been opened now, and you now don't know because you're not following up on the updated kind of information as far as regulations and policies are concerned. And then I took my time to as well find out some of the sources of information that you can always reach out to in order to be updated all the time. And amongst these, I can recommend industry publications and journals. People do research and find out what's working currently, so don't miss out on such information. For example, my youth may publish some article or journal that putting you in a better position than you are. So you already subscribe to all those kinds of information channels in order to have that information. Then you can also have access to the online resources like websites, forums. I can also recommend our own website. If you go on Google and search for Planex Aquaculture, you'll be able to get access to our website. And we always have blogs which are posted per month, and probably as time goes on, we shall maybe have like 2 or 3 blogs published. But the key point here is that you subscribe to relevant websites. By websites, I don't mean that you should go around subscribing to any website that comes across you. No, you focus on the website that will provide you with valuable information that will help you develop your farm. And again, you should also make sure that you have access to critical research, publications. We have many professors, we have many doctors, even me personally have conducted some research. So it's important that you always have information and results, such kinds of research that you carried out in order for you to stay updated. Then professional associations and networks, it's very important that you always have connection to them. For example, we have the Uganda Commercial Fish Farmers Association. In case you are not yet registered with it, it's a very great opportunity for you to have good information about aquaculture if you are a member of it. Then through collaborations and partnerships, you can be able to as well have information coming to you through those channels. Then through government agencies and regulatory bodies, these agencies can as well always have some kind of information passed out which may be relevant towards the development of your aquaculture business. Then the industry events and conferences to talk about symposiums. We can as well mention the fish expos. So make sure that you always attend such events such that you get first-hand information from the people who really know what to do. Then again, why should we bother to have this kind of information at hand? One, this will help us improve on our farming practices. For example, I can get to know that certain technique in feeding fish can really give good results, and I apply it on my farm and it works. So if you're not having access to such kinds of channels, you may not have that kind of information. Then it also helps you to stay compliant as far as regulations and policies are concerned. A new law is passed that will favor you as an aquaculturist to be positioned to have it. And as well, if it limits you to doing a certain thing that may put you into trouble, they as well get to know. So in that way, you will stay compliant in what is required. Then it also helps you to know where and how to sell to get the best prices. For example, I remember in one of the previous trainings that I have personally taken part in, people happen to mention many markets to fish that some of the participants never knew. So now just imagine I didn't attend, I also wouldn't get to know certain markets that are around me. That's not good for business. Then it also helps you to have positive impact on the environment and the community in which you're working. At times we can deteriorate the standards and the integrity of our environment, not on purpose, but just because we don't know that we are doing it. So it is very important that you maintain the integrity of the environment. If you have such kind of information, having access to it will help you to know, no, what I'm doing here is wrong, and it may undermine the integrity of the environment. And when you affect the integrity of the environment, you also indirectly affect your productivity, and in the long run, you will not make enough profits as you have done. Then our secret number 5 is technical support. Yes, you have already strategically carried out your market research. You know your customers. You have gone down. You have drafted a good and working plan for your farm. You have implemented the plan and all the scope that was involved, and now you already have updated information. So the technical bit of it that comes in is to ensure that you have what we call maintenance and sustainability. Can you sustain the knowledge that you have? Can you sustain what you have implemented? So that's where the technical support comes in. It also acts as a seal for you to know what's good and what's not good. For example, someone may give you bad information about a new venture or a new kind of technology that may do more harm to your farm, and yet you don't know. So if you have access to a technical person, he or she will be able to guide you respectively, depending on the level of their expertise and the knowledge that they have. They will be able to advise you in the right way. So always source out for technical support. And currently, you people are so lucky in a way that Planex has opened up an aquaculture support center. We have been working for quite some good time, and our services are free of charge. You don't have to pay for anything. You just come, or you contact us through our means of communication, and can be able to have our technical support free of charge. And I have already hit on probably all this, but for emphasis, I will again strike on some of the key points. Having technical support will help you to have access to experts. Then you have trusted consultancy services, and as well you have extension services being available to you. Then as well, you may be having questions that are unanswered. They are making you have nightmares. You're probably scared your farm is running out of business. But with technical support, you can have all those questions answered. And this can inspire you and encourage you more. And Then again, technical support will help you to stay up on the game running. Then you have some bit of encouragement where you feel so low and maybe some things are not going right. Probably it's because you don't have the right kind of information which you can get through technical support. Then it also helps you to build on the knowledge that others may have. We don't have anyone who is the A to Z source of information. So if you as a person, you're not having all the kind of information that is required in aquaculture. So you should always be open to having new information being available to you and take it on, probably to work for you. Then as well, we thought of it to be very important for you to get to know some of the government agencies and some support organizations that may be very important for you to run a good aquaculture business. Obviously, if you don't know someone who can help you, you won't have help because you don't know. So these are some of the agencies that we currently have at hand. Obviously, these are not all, but these are the key that we have identified. One is NAFERI. Then we also have the ministry here. Then we also have NARO. All these are government agencies which are always there to help you develop your fish farming business. Then as well, we have what I can refer to as sector support organizations, among which we have Planex, Aquaculture. These people we are committed to making sure that you have a successful fish farming business. Then other associations that we have at hand to make sure that you run a successful fish farming business as long as you have access to them. Include the Uganda Commercial Fish Farmers Association. I've already talked about this. We also have the World Aquaculture Society and the Global Aquaculture Alliance. So you can, as a farmer, have access to all these bodies. Then I believe that you'll be in good position to have enough information and all that is entailed as far as ensuring that you have a successful fish farming business is concerned. Well, at this point, our dear viewers, I will welcome, I will be responding, me and my colleague, we shall be responding to any questions that you may have. Mr. Isaac, you're welcome back.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your insightful presentation.
Thank you, sir. As far as it stands, most of the questions and concerns seem to maybe they are on their way coming, but in our comment section, you can keep them coming and we are in position to respond to them. And in case something, dear viewers who have been able to join us on this online edition, this has been our third edition of the online training that we have been having. And I can assure you that we shall continue having these online trainings every month. So I would advise and recommend that any one of you that is not subscribed to our channel can do so, because you may end up being
little is to just refresh on what we have covered today. Remember when we were coming up with this, we thought that you can have everything, like I said in the beginning. You can have everything that guarantees you to succeed and still not succeed as a farmer. So please take a keen interest into market research, in-depth market research. Understand your customers deeply, understand their preferences, understand everything that they require. And after that, please put all this into a comprehensive business plan such that it will guide you through. It should be your Bible in your business, where you always look back and okay, so I had slated to do this at this time, or this is not going well. What was the counter? All that should be entailed there or engraved in that book. The other third thing is now when we set out to do production here and there, but they should not be substantially affecting the business. So the business plan or the strategic business plan is going to guide you all through your production. Number 4 is do not stop planning. Do research, engage with people, network with people that understand these things. And of course, number 5, or secret 5, please involve technical people, because there is a reason why that person is an aquaculture scientist. There is a reason that person is probably a fisheries officer somewhere, because they are supposed to. In Soroti, thank you so much. David in Mokono, thank you so much. And all those other people that have been on this, please keep locked in. We are coming back next month with something different but more interesting. Please log into our channels and of course subscribe, follow us on our social media handles, Planex Aquaculture on Twitter, Planex Aquaculture on Facebook, and all the other handles. From me and the team, I think, thank you.
Thank you very much, our dear viewers. Here we come back for our next online training. Stay well and always be sure to feel free to come and check on us where we work from in case you want physical engagement.